Hello, welcome back to ABI-DOS. Ta-da! There it is. Yeah. So what is this? Part 5 of Altitude Plotter. Yeah, we're gonna have some big problems with this one. Fortunately, last episode we laid some pretty good groundwork on basically making everything small so I could fit more stuff in. I think I'm gonna have a bit more progress in making this small today. I want to think about this little machine in the corner here. I'm pretty sure I can actually improve this slightly, because rather than making all these instructions to go to the next bit over here, I can simply add a number to it and then read that pointer position. Yes. Because I don't read from here to here. I read from here to here. Because see, the idea is that because we're skipping 22, right, for some weird reason, we're skipping 22. It would be a lot easier if I didn't skip 22, if I just read them as normal numbers, but I'll probably have to skip like other numbers. If I read 22, I'll probably have to skip 36. That job will be easily done because 36 won't even need to be read. By the time we reach the end, everything will have been settled before we even reach 36. At which point the next page would then follow immediately from what I last saw. I think it was Flight Force Simulator that told me once I've marked in everything I need to mark, right, the next page will just fall. Like, it will completely skip everything else that's supposed to run. It will just go to the next page. Meaning that I would never actually read 36, because by the time I read everything else, all the markings would have been done already. Meaning, technically, I could save space by starting from 22 and then skipping 36. However, I don't actually save space, because if I went and read these three things, to put them back to 22 would take a lot longer. So this top line would be much longer, which is bad. So I might as well just use a shorter version repeatedly and then only have one very long edge case at the very start. And this long edge case is going to be a little bit long, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Let's not copy this setup. Let's write a new setup for this. We'll get a review first. So what this X does is, I think it sets position to 26 first, right? And then the machine begins. It will hold on to some amount of time before moving the pointer from this 28 here to the next 19 here. However, I can do slightly better. I can start by first setting the pointer to a position of 26, which is position 40. Read that position on to signal 0. So let's get rid of U for a while. So you'll be set to 26 first. You'll wait for a while. You'll be set to 19, which is position 16. And then you'll go on your little cycle. Your little cycle will involve simply moving forward by 2. Because once you're done with this column, you'll move on to the next column, right? That's what this machine does. At this point, it will move, at this 33, for example, it'll move right and then down 3. So it'll move right, it'll move down 3, and in the process of moving past the region border, it'll move right by 1 again, which lands you at 17. However, all I need to do is, I think, set up a certain amount of wait time here. Or I can actually put it here, in fact, because the reading can use the same. You can use the same read symbol. So I can set up a certain amount of wait time here. At the end of that wait time, I simply add 2, and then reread that symbol. So like, I don't know what the wait time would be, but let's say something like, I don't know, 10 cycles, just because. So we read 40 and we read to that position first. After 10 cycles, it will move to the next column, which is at position 16. Then it will wait for 10 cycles, add 2, and then read that. So it will move forward by 2 from the original position. The pointer will move down and whatnot, but because the value of this is absolute, it will basically save the position of the pointer here, like a ghost pointer, and then move that ghost pointer over to 17, where the original pointer will then go. So 17 is at position 18, confusingly enough, and then after the next cycle, it will then move to position 20, which is the value 17 again for some reason. And then it will keep doing that until you're reaching here. And by that point, after reading the entire column, again, the screen will flip on its own because everything in here will be marked. Which means that this is the only machine I need. So that saves up a lot of space. And by a lot, it's not really that much, but it's a decent amount. Probably should have built it vertically so that I can just copy and paste it over, but it's honestly fine. I'll just move everything. So the reason why this 40 needs to exist first is because it's very awkward edge case you have to work with. Awkward edge case being, you know, you have to read 20, you are skipping 22 intentionally. For some really interesting reason, this also is perfectly in terms of length. Okay. So that's the improvement I have on this, which is in fact an improvement. I was a little scared this was not going to be an improvement because there are a lot of initial steps to handle the edge case, but those initial steps are shorter than the previous machine's steps to handle the edge case. So overall, it is an improvement by quite a lot. We can like fit the move down by here. So yes, I can also alternatively do it the other way around, where rather than shifting it over with a +2, I shift it down with, I think, a +26. The reason why this is maybe slightly better... is it slightly better? Does it matter? It will give you a lot more cycles, basically, because you will read a lot more rows. The entire idea is still the same, though, right? Because you're still reading everything once, exactly. It's just the order in which you read. So it's like change... what am I saying? I don't know. Are you reading it vertically or horizontally? It doesn't really matter. The point is that, suppose I read... See, I'm reading the top 3 corners, correct? Right. I'm reading... Like for this 28, for example, I'm reading these 3 corners. And the things are coming out. Oh, wait, okay. Before this, right, I almost forget. Of course, I'm going to call stuff out. So that's an extra step, but that's okay. That's honestly fine. So I'm going to call this out first. So what is going to come out is 17, 17, 22. So it's going to read this, this, and this. The 22 is going to come out last. So it's going to read... It's going to read the western bit first, then the northwest bit, then the north bit. West first. Northwest, then north. West, northwest, north. So it ends up here at the very end, right? Okay. Meaning that perhaps perhaps what? So I'm kind of not thinking very much here, but what am I debating on? After pushing this into the output, right, your pointer will be here, yes? Because the pointer is going to be set to position 137 in this case. And then an output is going to come out either as a value of 0 or as a value of, you know, this color bit. And so when pushed into the output, it's going to be pushed out by, it's going to move forward by 1. I just want to do a quick check. If I put the value of 0 into here, will it push the pointer forward by 1? It won't? Oh, is it because of this? Oh, it does not affect the pointer's position. That's... Oh, you know what? Okay. Huh. That doesn't necessarily break my machine, but that is something I probably should have realized a long time ago. A long time ago, I had the idea of choosing bits based on how they will be moved, how the pointer will move afterwards. The reason I rejected reading to the bits east in general, because pushing an output in there would push the pointer forward by 1, which made it even further away. And choosing west instead, because moving the pointer forward by 1 would get you into a better position afterwards. But I just realized it does not matter, because this red output does not change pointer's position when accepting inputs. So it would not have mattered. The only thing that would have mattered is pulling things out, right? No? Wait, does it have a variation? Oh my goodness, it has a variation. What? Variation B does not affect the point. Oh, what? Wait. That is going to improve things massively. Because a lot of times I've had to pull back on purpose. But you're telling me I don't. Wait a minute. This is news. This is news. So perhaps if I read this, it would read. It will pull. Okay, so this should also be set, right? So I will never need the pulling back at all. Huh. Oh, wow. Pulling back is actually bad. Wow, wait, that really does help. Huh, okay. Does it? Maybe. I want to say perhaps it does, but like at this point I think everything is calculated so well, nothing really matters. But alright, just to know that that actually works. Can't believe it does. Alright, well that's good to know. I'm learning new things about this game. Like, even so late into it. But everything's calculated so well, I think doing that would change things a lot. Because I have to move around all the pointers and everything. Either there's not going to be any improvement, or I'm going to have to change all the calculations. Okay, but we figured out that everything works at this point, right? I think we did. Okay. So, sorry, back to the original question of whether I want to read in rows or in columns. If this doesn't change when I send something in, which means that theoretically I don't actually need to send a 0 in either. The reason why I wanted to send a 0 in is to make sure that the pointer moves forward, but since the pointer never moves forward when accepting my input, it doesn't matter then. I don't need to send a 0 in, I'll just throw it away. Huh, okay. That makes things slightly easier because I don't need to work with another line here. It's only about this now. Okay, yeah, that definitely improves things. Right, I think the 0 doesn't help anymore besides just being a value that we need to put in here. Well, that I thought we needed to put in here, so let's assume we don't need that anymore. I'm going to leave it. Reason why is because in case its existence helps with something, maybe like calling a signal or whatever, we'll be fine. Okay, so let's go with our initial idea of reading in columns first. Reading in rows, I can just change this value. So what do we do with the values we've obtained? Well, we're always going to get the bigger value here, right? The idea is that I want something to read through and move the pointer in necessary position. So right now we are in this awkward position, which is 15. I believe if we did not call this out, we would have been in a better position here. Yeah, we're in 14. Theoretically, I believe if we did not call this out, we have to pull this forward by 1 again. So calling this out here is actually good. In theory, I could fix things and make this a little more normal. I believe if I went this and then this... Actually, I think it would be worse, wouldn't it? The timings wouldn't work out. Yeah, the timings wouldn't work out. So them being separated by 3 is actually intended. Or is it? Or is it? What am I thinking again? If I shortened it so that everything is separated by 2 instead, like this, could I then pull this thing forward by 1? So this shortens the output by 2, but if I push this 4 by 1, everything will also be slowed down by 2. Would it? I don't think it would. Would it? I think it's still messed up. Yeah, it's still messed up because... Oh, but if I set this to be 2 instead of 3, then this would be fine. But would this match right? If I set this to 1? This would still need to be faster. So if I got rid of this entirely, would that be fine now? What the heck happened here? Okay, yeah, the timing is very off. This has to be slow by 1, so let's say this becomes a hold of 1. Why am I doing this? I mean, I'm saving some space. Yes, I am. So this will be here. Wait. So this will be slow. So let's say I set to a position where everything is, yeah, we'll set to 150. We're always going to set to 150 to test all bits, because all bits are going to come out at 150. So we can now test when everything works. This one works, this one works, this one does not. This one is slow. Yeah. How do I fix that? Well, if I wanted to fix that, I could slow everything down by 1 and speed this up by 1. So if I slow everything down by 1, that implies slowing this down by 1, implies slowing this down by 1, and this slowing down by 1. This is already slowed down by 1, but if I slow it down by 1 further, this will also be slowed down by 1. Otherwise, the last one has to be the one that's fast, but the last one runs through every bit of track. So now it's also slow again. I can't make this any faster. I don't think this is a problem that can be fixed. Can I? It doesn't feel like a problem that can be fixed. Here. Here. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem that can be fixed. I think... Why did I try and do this? No, go back. Go back, go back. Please go back. I think it's kind of funny that I'm like trying to force myself to use... Yeah, there you go. So this should still work as per normal, right? Let's just make sure this is right, this is right. And back at 150. Why does this work but the other side doesn't work? Does this not work? Is my question. Maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this for some awkward reason doesn't actually work. What? Why did we only see 2 outputs? Oh, did one get thrown away? No, they shouldn't have gotten thrown away. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, they all work. Okay. I got really confused there. Confused by my own setup. Okay, so yes, now we have that. I was thinking I'm gonna need something to help move the pointer. Firstly, we don't need to move this. We know that having it stay here is a good position. We read things out as per normal, so the pointer is going to have to be... So the pointer is going to be at 31 at this point. It's going to have to be at this point, then up, then over. So, okay. So that means the pointer... Well, okay, before we act on the pointer, we need to input the color chart. So first, let's shift things over to make it fit slightly more. Again, this is still pretty bad in terms of space, but it's slightly better than before. So let's add the color chart. The color chart, if I remember right, was... What is the color chart? Oh jeez, okay, this is the wrong color chart. This is the color chart I want. So 3 colors merging together, becoming 167 and exiting, and then wires will determine stuff. So let's make the how should we make the color chart? I want to make the color chart accessible to like this output in general, because this output is going to be the one testing, right? So all the wires should be able to connect pretty closely. But I still want some space to do stuff. I'm thinking I want a bit coming out here, and this bit over here is going to be used to do all the movements, because this bit is a direct response to something coming out through this line. So it will be a prime candidate to move the pointer after. Before that, I was thinking of using another one of these guys that's set on timer, but honestly, it's a lot less stable than just having it directly respond to something coming off this. Because I also have to activate this X at some point in time, which requires a lot more wire. So yeah, let's do that first. So here, we want one red, we want one green, we want one blue. All of them merge, all of them become the value 167 for this fancy little bit here, which is not a pixel apparently. And then it will be outputted. Hopefully at the right time. And then of course we have one that's also set to, I think, 170 for a pixel if the value 170 gets detected. Okay, so here, here, here. I could swap these if I wanted to. We'll have one more, we'll not use X, let's use Y. So we have one more bit that will do something. Okay, one more bit that will do something. I'm just gonna go somewhere. But let's maybe handle the wiring a little bit. Oh, should I attempt to handle the wiring a little bit or not? Let's handle the wiring a little bit first. In fact, I think at this point we have to handle the wiring. We already have our outputs here. So we have a total of 5 tests, right? Not necessarily. Yeah, we have 5 tests. Yes, we have 5 tests. The 17, 1, 2, 3, or 4. 0 will never come out here because these will never be a 0. It will always either be 17 or the larger of the 2 colors. Will there ever be a 1? Yeah. When 1 and 0 meet each other, the 1 will always come out. And 0 is the lowest value. We don't have 2 zeros come out. Because if the 2 zeros come out, this value would have already activated these conveyors to throw away anything that comes out. So the zeros will never come out here. I don't know if I can test that out right now, but I think I can test it out somewhere. Like probably with this 8 over here. So let's just do that, I guess. We'll just do one quick test. So 414. Okay. So you come out, there'll be a lot of zeros coming out, but obviously a lot of stuff will be thrown away. In fact, all 3 of things will be thrown away. All 3. Crap, I did not consider the first one being thrown away, did I? Nope. Oh, does a 0 always get thrown out? Okay, even the 0 always gets thrown out. We have not yet tested for non-zero values, right? Which will not get thrown out. Yeah, okay. We'll ignore this thing for now. This thing is kind of pointless. But okay, that means that there is a problem. If we went ahead to a value such as 29 here, we will have a problem, won't we? 152. Should I also have had a conveyor here? See, this 2 will be thrown in. This 2 is not supposed to be thrown in. And this 3 is thrown in because of the pixel like this one. Crap. But the problem is that this 2 comes in way too early. This thing comes in way too early to throw this away. See? Huh. We have a very major problem here. Uh-oh. So why does the timing work so well with everything else? The timing works out well with this. So whatever comes after I can delay, whatever comes before I can't speed up. Hope the timing helped What if the timing were to work well with the bottom one instead, delete the both at the bottom? Why did I not think of this? Okay, can do other stuff. I can, for instance... Okay, question. I just want to make sure that these guys don't clash. I think they will clash though, won't they? Oh no, they won't. This will take longer. Oh, but they will clash if I threw something down. Okay, hold on. I can fix this, I believe. I should be able to fix this. For example, this too can be resolved by shifting this entire setup down by 1, I think. Which gives us a bit of space. So question, does this work? Let's... Yeah, sure. Okay, that works. Okay. So we'll just go back to 150 to make sure that the bottom two work. That works. That works. That works. Okay, so it works. That's why. The reason why is because I wanted another conveyor here to throw you away. And then the test for... Oh, the test for equality is really close though. The test for equality is really close. Okay, well the thing is that when it comes down to this line, the test for equality will have been already confirmed, right? So I can place a B sensor here and it will do the exact same thing. Which is why when this goes... So let's go back to 152 just to see where the thing ends up. So when these two guys... So when you reach here... You have been here. Okay. So, okay. It's gonna use up a little bit of space, but it shouldn't be a big problem. I can do this. And then these can be here. There you go. So we've lost a bit of space doing this. But really, I think it's fine. So one thing I can do to help save space, I think, is this. With this turning around, you can now go out instead. And then what I can do is I can remove this entirely. Well, not remove, because this wire needs to connect to the U. I can shift this. Okay. So what I'll do is I shift this over to here. You get a bit of a directional change. So this will point up and be correct by default. When activated, it will go away, and then you will go here. Yeah, the duplicator can be somewhere behind, doesn't really matter. And because this is shortened, this will have to be increased by 2. So yes, this should do the same thing, right? So that activates and throws you away, correct? This will not throw you away, because it's not supposed to. This will... Oh, this too should have been after this thing. Oh. Okay, let's say I got rid of it. Will that still work right now? Let's get rid of you first. The answer is no. Why? Oh, is the answer yes? The answer is yes. It will actually work now. But otherwise, you'll still have to wait 2. The problem is that the wait 2 has to be further away. Ah, okay. So there's like a little bit of space in between here that I need to fit the obstructor in here, like between here, but that clearly isn't possible. Which means that it won't work now basically because this will be sped up by 2, right? Yeah. Okay, but if I put the 2 in front of it, I still think that this is possible. Okay, so I'm gonna put the duplicator down here. Let's just throw it into the trash for now. If this 2 were here, you get a slightly later testing. A slightly later testing is still fine though, right? Because I can always put a B sensor here as well. Alright. The reason why that 2 has to be there is it has to comply with with the timing of everything else. So yeah, it gets thrown away. If we went to 150 where it gets accepted, does it get accepted? I think it does. I think it's still the same. So here, yes, here, yes, here, yes. Okay, everything still works. And we have saved space, so hooray! Very nice, I'll take it. I can probably save more space by having these 2 be connected to here instead. That gives me a bit of space to maybe work on the... I don't know what would fit in here, even if I could fit stuff in here. I guess if I verticalized this, maybe, then I would need some space. Honestly, it's fine. I can, you know, fix that all later. But alright, so that resolves everything in that regard. Timings still work out fine. So we slipped a little, but we're okay. Okay, so the 5 values we have to test for, going back to that, are 17, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. And then after the testing, it'll just go away. This value is no longer useful to us. Throw it away. Okay. Okay. The value of 17 will lead to a simple y bit that equals 170. That's it. If it detects a 17, it means the object is supposed to be a pixel. Cool. Throws it in. If it's 1, it's supposed to be red. If it's 2, yellow, which is red and green. 3 is green, and 4 is cyan, which is green and blue. Okay, so red. We'll work with the wiring later when we're better at this. We don't connect directly to the... We connect to this. Yellow, which is this and this. Green, which is this. And then, yeah, and then blue, cyan, which is green and green and the other one. Okay, so I think the solo green has to be on its own. And then you will have to make do with these 2. That's why the solo green is on its own, because the solo green doesn't have to work with the timing of any other ones of these. There you go. Alright. So you'll have the items prepared now, right? You have all the timings prepared. You get 3 3s, and the 3 3s will all activate green. So you get 3 greens coming out. Green, green, green. Which is cool. So there you go. Now I can definitely fold this in on its own a lot better if I needed more space. The idea, however, is to use this to time something. I need to time a down, down, left. Okay. So honestly, I can start with the down, down, left before waiting. The down, 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 left. Okay. After that, it's gonna have to wait for a while. I don't know how long it's gonna have to wait, but we'll do some testing. So it's gonna have to time itself to when the object comes into the exit, and not any time else. In fact, because of that, we probably have to lengthen this as well, because this should also be timed similar to this. The reason why this works, I would believe, is because the difference in time taken is so slightly smaller that it's not really relevant. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to do a bit of waiting here. I think because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles to get in here, it should also take 4 cycles to get in here. So 1, wait, 3, 4. We'll wait for 1 cycle. Or, you know, I could just lengthen the entire thing by 1, doesn't really matter at this point. There you go, okay. Cool. So the waiting time here, I'm gonna count first. So it's gonna have to wait, right? Let's see what time it gets to this position. So here we're already like sending in the first input, which works barely enough. It needs to wait 1, 2. It needs to wait, but then it needs to move up. So if it takes some cycles to get up, 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes 4. Let's say it takes 2 steps to move this up. It won't have to wait 2. So let's make it wait 2. It moves up. Okay. Let's test it again. Okay, so we don't want an exit point. We want when this is pulled out. Okay, so this comes out. It will push this in. No, we waited for too short before moving. Also, this just moved in the wrong direction. We moved up. So here we do have to wait for the 4. I think it's this one that we have to wait for a lot less. Okay, so here it waits. Okay. Then it will move up. It will wait. It has to wait. I think it only waits 1 before moving. And it will move right. And then it'll do something. I don't know what it'll do. It'll do something. Okay, so here I move. Then I wait. That is incorrect. I need to wait a bit more. Because I went in and then I moved the pointer at the same time it entered here, so the pointer was bad. So yes, wait, wait, and then move, and then just wait. There you go. After this is done, I need to move back to the original position, 28, and then move it down by 2 because I'm reading by column. So after that, okay. So after this, I'm basically going to go to this position. So I need to move down by 3. So I suppose I'll wait 2 as per usual. I'll move down by 3. Down, down, down. I'll be at this position and I'll call it the next bit. Calling out the next bit like so. Next bit does have to reset this thing though, so something has to reset this. I don't know what that might be, but something has to reset it. I think this is the only thing that needs to be reset though. It's kind of a problem that this is isolated, which might be a reason why I'm going to have to move this. That's possible. Aha! There is going to be a big problem. This timing is not going to work out for other values. I was hoping it would, but I don't think it will. Because if it detects the 1 first, that 1 is going to come in really, really early. Right, if I instead went to back to position, let's say position 42, let's say I'm here. It's going to be reading the 2s instead. So it's going to throw that away. It's going to read the 19 correctly. But because of these guys being slightly slower, there might be a problem. It's already moved over, yeah. See? It's slow. It's slow by a lot, actually. We've only read 1 thing. Oh, actually, no, it works. That is supposed to be where it's reading. Oh. Oh, okay. I don't know if I was lucky. Hopefully I wasn't. Let's try with another number, just to check. Let's try 39, which is at position 198. Okay. We will read a bunch of 3s, I think. A bunch of 4s, I mean. Will those be too slow? 4. 4. 4. Looks okay. Okay. Final one is this 9 over here at position 382. That will be all the reds. I don't know if the whites are going to have a problem as well. The whites might have a problem. We might have to test that as well. I feel like this has a problem though, because why wouldn't it have a problem? That's right. Aha, we might have a problem now. Wow, we don't have a problem. How about now? How do we not have a problem at all? I think that barely makes it. Like, they do have some slight offset with each other, but I managed to make it so that they all perfectly fit within the window. The 17 is very easy to fix. So let's go back to position 40. Is it 40? Yeah, it's 40. Let's see how the 17s react. 17s are way earlier, so they might have the biggest problem if I don't time them well. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There it is. Now the thing is, because 17s are being 17s, why do we even test that? They don't need to read anything. Wait, they don't read anything. Then why do we even need to read 17s? We don't. Oh. Wait, so we don't. The reason why I read 17s is because I'm trying to push something in. That was no need to push something in. The reason why I wanted to push something in was because I wanted this to move, the point to move forward. The point doesn't have to move, it's not going to move forward regardless. We'll get rid of 17, we don't need it. Yep, okay. So does that then mean that if I push everything up by 1, so let's try that. Can I lower all of these values by 1? Maybe I'll just lower the first one by 1. The rest should still be the same. Okay, so let's go back to testing the toughest one at position 382. Will this still work out? Or did I do something that was a grave mistake? What? Oh, what? What I read? What? 382. Thank you. When did I ever... Why did I go back to 40? Okay, there you go. So is the reading correct? Yes. 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 Still reads right. Okay, back to our original value of... was it 150? 150. 15. There you go. Okay, now the 3s are... I think we should probably have checked the 4s. The 4s have the greatest variation from the 1s. But theory the 3s have equal variation because the 3s take longer to get to the exit anyway. Yeah, works. Okay, so now we need something to reset this. That shouldn't be a big problem. There are times when nothing gets in here. If that's the case, then we can't use whatever's coming out here. Okay, but we can use this. Okay, so back to where we came from. Nope. So back here. I was thinking of using something here, right? But I don't know if that's valid or not because there's this big thing in the way. I suppose I could use a blue wire. I can use a red wire like this. Put it on a B here. And that will reset this. So at position 40. It'll do all the reading, it'll do all this reading, it'll do all the reading. 17 will reset. Something will reset. If it's a 17, nothing happens, which is good. And then you will reset this to... Why did this get put back to regular... Oh. So this is not a B, it's an A sensor. Oops. Right, because I had to go back to the original state. So A, not B. I don't know why I put it at B. But A should fix it. Yep, A fixes it. It will always fix it. And then the cycle will restart. It will move on to the next position and then we'll do the exact same thing again. And so this will work. Hopefully until position 28. It does. Oh, that's exciting. Now, we have to shift over. So what is the timing for this? Well, if we start at position 0, this is here at cycle 3. Okay. Cycle 1. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's big. That's really big. I can't wait for 1,000 cycles. This number doesn't go that high. It goes to your 3-digit numbers. It doesn't fix itself. Huh. Why are we here? Right, because it's value 0. Okay. So we want to read at 40. I want to go to position 16, but the time it takes is a lot. So we're gonna have to add stuff. Okay, that should be fine. The thing is that while one of these can only hit 999, 2 of them can reach more than 1,000, which is good for us. So here we are at cycle 1279, which is actually a really fascinating number. I think it's not. It's 1729. That's the fascinating number. This one is just a coincidence. Okay, but we're not actually done yet. The time that we need to actually move to the next cycle. So this reads the 28th. The time we actually have to go to the next position, okay, is this minus 2, which is 1322 minus 2 is 1320. 1320 minus the 999 from the first one will give us 321 for our second obstructor. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically flip this entire thing around. It's going to take the 2 obstructors first, and then going into this cycle here. There's a loop on its own. Hopefully this will only take 1, but if it does take 1, I have more space here. This will take 999. This will take 321. And hopefully, by the time everything settles, it will shift over to position 16 at the correct timing. Too late. Let's go lower. Let's go 318. Yeah. Nothing would have come out at this point, so I do have to just start at the 28 value. 318, is the timing correct? Perfect. No. Is it what? Oh, I have to read here. This is where. So we have to go even lower. 317. I mean, that just barely works, but barely working is enough, I think. Because this is only a one-time case, right? It only needs to work once. Though the cycle is the one I'm a bit scared of. Cycle, I think, is a bit longer. In fact, the cycle is in fact longer than your 13 something something, but this works. Yep, it gives you 19, which fits. Okay, so this one is going to be even longer. It's going to be this plus 1 cycle, or plus one round of counting. So we're gonna just do 999 here. How long is one cycle on average? Let's say one cycle is... Actually, I don't know. We can just test right now. Let's do that. One cycle will take... So how long to the next input here? Good question. Let's see. 46. So one big calculation takes 46 cycles. 317 plus your 46 cycles gives you 363. Let's input that. Okay. Actually, we'll read to the next 33. Hopefully, we'll read the 33 right. Uh-oh, we're reading forward. Why? Wait, what? Okay, so everything's read correctly. What? Wait, what are we reading again? Crap. So when the 19 comes out, this will reset. Yeah, everything looks correct. Does 19 not work? It reads the 2, so it's supposed to bring out 1 yellow. Oh, it's that. It flips upwards. Wait, what? But isn't that the exact... Oh. When it flips upwards, it goes forward by 1. So this stack over... So instead of being at this position, it's forward by 2. Crap, I didn't... Why didn't I think of that? It works for everything. Except that. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think there's an easy fix for this. I really don't think so. Oh, okay. No easy fix. The thing is, when I read here, I'll actually reach 22. I'll reach 22. Right? And then what this will do is it will go to this position. Okay, but when I reach 19, right? That's not what happens. The 19 will end at this position. Yeah, because when it goes up above the border, it won't work. But then I asked the same question. Doesn't that not change anything if I read anything else? Like here, the big problem is that it's reading the things above it, right? If I write the things below it, then this won't have the problem, but this will have the problem, because it's gonna overflow again. Does it really not work otherwise? If I set it to 42 as opposed to 16. It will stop working. What? Why does it stop working too? Yeah. So the 26 reads here. It will do all the reading. Yeah. It will read this thing. Why is this fast? That looks fast. Did I mess up? No, I didn't. No, this is the third thing, so... Yeah, okay, this is fine. Then what? Yeah. Okay, does it break here? Yeah. Okay. Then it reads nothing, as it should. All the writing stops. Ah, because this is not... Right, nothing goes in here. This A is also bad. I see. Okay, the A can be here. Solved. Yeah, the A can be there, honestly. I should fix it. Just kidding, it doesn't. It still doesn't. Why? What breaks? What? Oh, because this A is also after the... Sure. Then the A... Well, there can be an A here as well, I guess. Okay. That doesn't read some things. I wonder why. Why doesn't it read... Oh, right, because... Oh, wait, is this messed up? Oh, that's never read. The 40 and 33 are never read. Wait. That interaction is never read either. Hold on, I've messed up really bad. My entire machine doesn't work. It straight up doesn't. That interaction is never read. Why did I think? Oh, I thought. Okay. No, I think I changed my idea a little bit too quickly. That diagonal interaction is completely wrong. Okay, this entire machine has to be scrapped. We worked so hard on this too. Fine. Alright, well, I'm gonna dread coming back to this puzzle. Maybe I'll skip this for now. Okay, sure. But if we're going to have to scale everything by an extra bit, right? I don't think this machine is gonna work. We're gonna find another way to make this, so I'll be completely stumped then. Well, whatever. Yeah, okay. I guess we've had some success, but not enough. We're gonna have to make this bigger, but that's just not gonna work. We're just gonna need another thing. So yeah, I suppose that's gonna be it for this episode. I'll think about it and I'll come back to it eventually. Until next time though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.